Why Britain is stuck in a developmental drift. Britain, once an industrial and economic powerhouse, is now facing difficulties that have lasted for more than 15 years. Despite being the world's sixth largest economy, the country is in a state of stagnation that places it among Europe's economically struggling nations, along with Greece, Italy, and Spain. Since the global financial crisis, the UK has struggled with chronic underinvestment, low wages, poor productivity, and limited investment, putting it well behind the world's largest economies. The reasons for this go back to the years before Brexit, which has further exacerbated the country's problems. Investment in the UK has lagged far behind other G7 countries since the mid-1990s. The Institute for Public Policy Research, IPPR, has shown, using OECD data, that for most of the past 3 decades the UK has ranked last among G7 countries in terms of investment. A lack of spending by British companies on technology and innovation and insufficient public sector investment have contributed to this situation. The latest figures for 2022 confirm that private business investment in the UK has been lower than in any other G7 country for the last 3 consecutive years. The IPPR report compared the UK's investment trajectories with France, which ranks second among G7 countries in terms of private investment levels. In 2005, the two countries had similar levels of business investment at around 11.35% of GDP. However, by 2022, France had increased its investment by 3.4 percentage points, while the UK saw a decline of almost 1 percentage point, now finding itself at a much lower level than its French counterpart. These figures show that the UK's poor economic performance is not inevitable, but is mainly due to investment allocation decisions by both the private and public sectors. Lack of adequate investment in technology and industrial infrastructure can limit the country's productivity and economic growth over the long term. High energy prices are another major problem for the UK economy. Compared to the rest of Europe, the UK faces some of the highest electricity costs for households and businesses. Moreover, the rate at which these prices are rising is much faster than the average for other European countries. For example, over the past 5 years, electricity prices in the UK have risen by more than 60%, while in other countries, the increase has been much smaller. High energy prices have a direct impact on the competitiveness of the British economy. Industry and other energy-intensive industries, such as manufacturing, transportation, and services, are facing rising production and operating costs. Companies in high-tech sectors, such as robotics, artificial intelligence, and database centers, also face costs associated with high energy consumption in developing and maintaining modern technologies. High energy prices can limit investment in these high-tech businesses, which are key to the economy's long-term innovation and competitiveness. In addition, high energy prices may discourage the location of new industrial investment in the UK, which could affect the country's future economic development. They also contribute to an increase in the cost of living for residents, which can affect their purchasing power and consumption, and thus the overall health of the economy. High energy prices can also be an additional obstacle to achieving modern technology adoption goals. Therefore, managing energy prices and promoting investment in technologies related to and producing low-cost energy become crucial to the future development of the UK economy. Public debt. Recently, the UK's public debt has exceeded 100% of GDP, signaling a serious challenge to the country's fiscal sustainability. The cost of servicing this debt is among the highest in the developed world. This year, the UK faces the largest debt interest bill in the developed world, accounting for 10.4% of total government revenue. High debt service costs have serious negative consequences for the future development of the UK economy. First, they absorb a significant portion of the government budget, reducing the availability of funds for investment in infrastructure, education, or other priority development areas. Second, they may lead to an increase in the tax burden or a reduction in public spending, which could further inhibit economic growth and innovation. In addition, high levels of public debt can affect a country's credit rating and reduce its ability to raise capital on favorable terms in the financial markets. This, in turn, can increase the risk of a long-term economic slowdown and hinder the implementation of strategic investments needed to modernize and make the economy competitive. In the context of changing global conditions such as rising interest rates and changes in international financial markets, the UK needs to focus on managing its public debt to ensure economic stability and long-term growth. These measures will be key to securing the future of the economy and improving the financial prospects of its citizens and businesses. High interest rates in the UK are an additional drag on the economy, particularly on the housing market and consumers. Rising interest rates can lead to higher borrowing costs for households and businesses, which in turn can limit their ability to invest and consume. In the case of the real estate market, higher interest rates could lead to a slowdown in demand for apartments and houses, which could result in lower prices and reduced construction activity. In addition, high interest rates may affect the cost of financing for businesses, particularly small and medium-sized enterprises, which often rely on bank loans to finance their operations. This, in turn, may limit their ability to expand, invest in new technologies, and increase employment. In the context of global competition and changing market conditions, the UK needs to strike a balance between controlling inflation and supporting economic growth. Reducing public debt, managing debt service costs effectively, and pursuing a monetary policy geared towards economic stability are key to ensuring the country's sustainable growth and competitiveness. Social integration and immigration, especially illegal immigration, are another challenge for the UK. Ethnic and religious integration problems can lead to social tensions and increased crime. Increased numbers of illegal immigrants are associated with increased activity by gangs and organized crime groups, which impose significant costs on the state. Theft, drug-related crime, and other criminal activities put a strain on the judicial system, police, and social services, and reduce the overall sense of security in society. These negative phenomena have serious consequences for the economy. The high costs associated with crime prevention and policing reduce resources that could be used to invest in education, infrastructure, or technological development. In addition, insecurity can deter investors and businesses from operating in the country, hindering economic growth and job creation. In summary, the United Kingdom faces a number of complex challenges that hinder its economic development. The problems of high public debt, high energy costs, stagnating investment, and social inclusion require comprehensive and coordinated action. Only by tackling these issues effectively will the UK be able to ensure economic and social stability, improve competitiveness, and create better living conditions for its citizens. Thank you for watching the video. Leave a comment and subscribe to the channel. See you next video.